My name is Laura Monroe, and I'm a graduate computer science student. My long-term career goals are to be a software engineer working in either full stack or back-end development, and to find a job with good work-life balance. My experiences at my 3 internships, although drastically different, helped me gain a better understanding of what working as a software engineer would actually be like. Going to get real-world experience taught me how important communication and teamwork are, and showed me that on-the-job training is just as important as what you learn in school. Another thing that's great about internships is that you get a lot of networking experience. A big advantage of internships is the in you get with the company. You could have a great chance of getting a return offer if the internship goes well, and could potentially turn an internship into a full-time position after you graduate. I got my internship with Microsoft after going to a resume reviewing event here at ASU. I spoke with a recruiter and she asked me if I had applied for the position, and when I said I had, she said she would send my resume to be considered. I think this is a very important thing to remember. Always apply to internships before you speak with a recruiter because they can't consider you until you apply. Additionally, going to these kind of networking events, whether it's an info session, a resume review event, or even the career fair, is a great way to get your resume out into the hands of recruiters. Physically handing out resumes to someone and talking about it is a great way to make yourself stand out and differentiate yourself from other candidates. One thing that I think a lot of people who are applying for software engineering positions struggle with is the coding interview portion of the interview. It's one thing to be a really good programmer, but to actually do a coding interview and get through the process requires a lot more than just the ability to code. When doing one of these interviews, you need to be able to talk the recruiter through your lines of code and make it a discussion. When I interviewed for Microsoft, I thought I bombed one of the interview questions, but because I was able to explain my thinking and show my logic, my inability to completely answer one of the questions was overlooked. It's important to remember that the biggest thing they are looking for in a coding interview is that you have the good critical thinking skills. Yes, it is important that you know how to program and that you understand the basic concepts and can apply them, but you don't have to know 100% of the topics. Talking the interviewer through your thought process and asking tons of clarifying questions can get you a long way. I think the most unconventional part of my internship experience is that I had an internship after my freshman year. A lot of companies don't consider freshmen, but there's no harm in applying, and it's a great idea to start getting ready as soon as possible. I also like to think that applying to internships is a numbers game. There are so many qualified people applying to internships, and the more you apply, the better your chances will be. I highly suggest starting as early as August and getting as many company networking events as possible. Also, come visit us at the Fulton Career Center to have your resume looked at. Having a great resume that shows off your amazing accomplishments is definitely necessary when applying online. I think I stood out to recruiters because I was passionate and able to talk in depth about my experiences. Knowing what's on your resume is very important. You should be able to answer any questions about any projects or internships you have on there, and then be able to explain what you learned from that experience. Having a positive attitude is also very important. I like to think of an interview or meeting a recruiter as a conversation. Yes, you should keep it professional, but really talking with them and showing an interest in the company and what they're doing is a great way to stand out. My biggest piece of advice for people applying to internships is that it's a numbers game. Apply to as many internships as you can and always customize your resume to the job posting. There are tons of qualified applicants applying to every internship position, so it's important to apply to as many as you can and remember that it's okay to get a few no's. All you need is that one internship to get your foot in the door, and then every summer after that will become easier and easier.